I cannot stop thinking about this, and when you really dive deep into it, it will blow your mind and your understanding as to the direction of where Dragon Ball is going, because this isn't just a small detail. This is a trend that's happening, and to be honest, it's just not a good direction for an anime that has prided itself on training. So the real first instance that we saw of this is the Super Saiyan God transformation for Goku. He didn't need to train for this. It was a ritual. He got the power. I was okay with that. If that's what he needed to get for that movie and it restarted Dragon Ball, to me, I was perfectly fine with it. And then we got one of my favorite characters in Dragon Ball, Goku Black. Now, this is the instance where you may be thinking, okay, where there's a character here that doesn't really need to train because he took over Goku's body, but just like Captain Ginyu before him, he doesn't know how to control it very well, so he's not going to be as good as a combatant as Goku would against someone like, say, Vegeta or something who is trained. And that's exactly what ends up happening. He ends up falling short to Vegeta in the Goku Black arc, and this necessitates the fusion between both Zamazus, which ultimately leads to this. So I mean, you can kind of say that Dragon Ball is telling us that, yeah, if you take the shortcuts, if you take the easy way out, well, then this will eventually happen to you. You will not get the gains that you want by cheating. And that's the message, obviously, that Dragon Ball wants to leave us with. But the next instance of this completely breaks this line of thinking, where if you take a cheat code, you are gonna see the downside of it. You're not really going to be able to kind of pull the wins that you want. And this next character I'm gonna get some hate for, but Broly. Broly is a type of character that comes around and is Super Saiyan Blue level strength from the beginning, from the get-go. The stronger and angrier he gets, the more powerful he becomes. And in the fight, he learns how to fight against Vegeta. When he fights against Goku, he learns how to fight against God. So once that ends up happening, he literally becomes Super Saiyan Blue level and beyond. He goes beyond it to the point where Gogeta, a fusion, a trump card between the two Saiyans and most of the characters that are in Dragon Ball, that trump card needs to be activated to face off against somebody like Broly, who is just naturally going to be strong. Now, Broly didn't take any shortcuts, but the writers did, and didn't give him any sort of training besides him killing creatures on Vampa and basically surviving on Vampa. Besides that, he really didn't know how to do anything. But this is one thing that Dragon Ball since Broly has been doing, and that is that every character is now learning as they fight. So you don't really need to train, because you will be fighting and you will be learning, and then you will be up to that level and you won't be at a disadvantage. And even then, you will get a power boost and get stronger and stronger until you basically get to the strength of other characters that have really just at the same time been training their entire lives to get to that level of strength. Broly's the first one that does it, and completely breaks the whole Ginyu curse, where you take somebody's body, you take the shortcut, you're gonna get something negative at the end of that. And Broly, you can say he did because he wasn't able to defeat Gogeta, and you can say that he hopefully will be trained even further by Goku after Superhero, because that was the beginning of his training. So now he is training to hone his skills, and you could say that his power is literally a double-edged sword. Fine, that's fine. Exhibit next. Moro. Moro is a wizard who is powerful in his own right, but he only becomes the level of Goku and beyond is when he ends up absorbing 73 and absorbs other things as well. He is an absorber type of creature, and he takes shortcuts to get to that level of strength. Mind you, Moro is actually falls into the category just like Zamasu, where he ends up taking on too much strength and he starts decomposing right before his very eyes. But at that very end, it could have possibly gone Moro's way if he was able to defeat Goku, and he would have just became the planet itself. So this is another character that is not training to become stronger, but this one did have a setback. So you could say that, okay, we're falling back in line with that Ginyu stuff. It's all right. You know, you end up taking that shortcut, you're gonna get something negative at the end of that. Enter the granola arc, and the granola arc is literally just power-ups, 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 no training. Granola wishes on the dragon. He wishes to become the strongest, and he becomes the strongest. Gas wishes to become the strongest. He becomes the strongest. Vegeta does off-screen training with Beerus at some level and becomes close to God of Destruction and training level on his own. These are just, you're going to be strong now, essentially, and there's no training that needs to be involved. And it just, honestly, it sucks at this point, because this is the arc that really solidifies the fact that we're jumping to where everyone's going to jump into power and really have no training behind it whatsoever. Because if you thought that the granola arc was doing that, well, Superhero is doing the exact same thing, and not just with the villains. We have Earthlings creating Super Saiyan Blue Plus creatures in Gamma 1, Gamma 2. We have them creating Super Saiyan Berserk Plus creatures in Cell Max. That's a huge power jump. And then we have Gohan and Piccolo. Piccolo literally just wishing to be stronger, and it works. He becomes stronger. He becomes Orange Piccolo. And then you have Gohan, who has not been training. He has not been struggling. He has been just using his own quote-unquote hidden potential for almost 90% of his fights at this point, and it works for him right here too, because he gets Beast Gohan as a transformation. Now he is on par, or he's getting be on par with everybody else, if not stronger than them, with no training whatsoever. And so this is literally solidified now, that not just about the villains doing these shortcuts and getting these bad ends of them. If the heroes do shortcuts, if the heroes are written with shortcuts in mind, well, then they don't need training either, and they will have a positive outcome, like Gohan, like Piccolo, like Broly. They will all have a positive outcome. So it seems like Dragon Ball is moving toward every single main character that's a hero will probably become Super Saiyan Blue level at some cost, but not the training cost. There is a saving grace, and that is Black Frieza. Now, Frieza has been training in all of Dragon Ball Super, surprisingly. He has been training not only to become golden form, but also when he's in Hell, he's training to become stronger than Goku and Vegeta, and then he achieves it by going into Black Frieza. So he's really like the only one out of the villains that's actually training, which to me, it puts Frieza pretty good in my book. And I think that if we focus on Frieza's training and his character progression in the future, I do think that this character could still save us when it comes to the non-training apocalypse, but it's a slim chance. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any training whatsoever. I mean, we have Goten and Trunks who haven't been training, have been grounded for a year, don't remember how to do fusion, and yet they pulled this off and punched Cell Max right in the jaw, moving him. Like, this writing is atrocious, and the direction the Dragon Ball is going right now with these crazy power levels is at an all-time high, and is just insane and laughable. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think.